Paulie, how's it going, mate?
How are we? Finally, yeah.
Finally got it done, mate.
Finally, for 12 months in the works.
Yeah.
Got me over, got me here.
How you feeling? How's life been for you lately?
Not good.
No.
Not good at all, no. Obviously, you know, I was on a path. I was doing okay. Fell off in a big way. Always flirted with the addiction, coming the recovery routes and doing things on and off and doing things your own way, because essentially it's your own journey, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's no blueprint of,
no.
Even though there's ways of doing things and recovery plans and your 12 steps and all the rest of it, I get that. But there's ways to do that works for you, and I flirted in and out of it, flirted with it in and out, and I'd go back and I just never give it the attention it deserves, the attention I deserve for myself, and I got myself in a really good mental headspace where I was okay, and then I just thought, just subconsciously, I just got a grenade and threw it at my life, and I ended up in hospital twice within a matter of a couple of days, suicide attempts, self-harming, stuff I was doing, just like, I hurt a lot of people, hurt the girl I met, she walked away, she caught me on the way down, and she could see me unravelling, and obviously she's got to protect herself, you know what I mean, she's got her own life to deal with and stuff, and that, like, I couldn't see it until I hit it, rock bottom. And then with the ADHD things and everything that the way I'm programmed and what I'm trying to work through, is you have this constant need to try and fix it, but fix it now. It's not an easy fix. This addiction game's not an easy fix. It's not going to happen. This is my life. Yeah. I'm going to be constantly learning new things all the time, trying to fix this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you said it there. The way I'm programmed, right? Yeah. And we're all programmed from the way that we're brought up, the way that the people around us, parents, family, friends, environment, the streets, obviously being from Liverpool, it's more fucking chaotic there than it is over here, put it that way. And I mean, so when we talk programs, right, we can uninstall programs, and we can reinstall new ones. And I believe that even just you being here now, there'll already be a change from yesterday, from the day before. And this is something that I'm trying to say to myself a lot more, and to the people that I speak to, because we're already here having the conversation, change is already happening, Yeah,
definitely, because, me and you've known each other 12 months now, maybe more, longer. We've always kept in touch, and, you've always been a good person I've come to for a bit of advice, like voice notes, like, can you break this down for me and stuff like that. And then, like, when I was like, come on the podcast, and like maybe the ego, which I'll go into in a minute, like like I spoke to you before we started recording, the Franny, where it was like, I don't want to speak about that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to bring all these things to the surface. One, to make people aware of this is what can happen. This is where you can go, and two, for my own sanity. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm here. Yeah, I'm sound. Getting me here, as you know, is an issue. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily an issue as such, because, like I've said to you in the past, it's always going to be here. But I think it's a case of when somebody's ready to have that conversation, and we can class it as an issue, or we can class it as a moment where there's some growth that's needed first.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And again, like we were speaking beforehand, we can associate it with negativity or positivity. You can associate it with negativity and say, "Oh, I've got an issue," or at this moment in time, I'm still on a path of understanding myself before I come and have this conversation. Because there'll be stuff. If we had this conversation 12 months ago, there'd have been stuff that you probably didn't know then that you do now. No. So we look at it as a positive and say, right now is the only moment that it was ever going to happen.
Yeah, that's it, because I think I always thought, like, the back of my mind, I've got this, I'm okay, I've got this. And you're masking all over it. Do you know what I mean? Hiding it, masking it. And it's just, it just can't happen no more for me. Do you know, and I honestly, like, starting next week, I'm 4 months off it again. Nice. Sober, clean again. And obviously, the girl I've got a kid with that, her name's Kiki. She's me rock. she's me, my fucking best mate, and she's really looked after me. She just like, she noticed something was up, and she was like, lads, do you know what I mean? And she's really helped me there. You know, and obviously I can credit loads of people for helping me, which I don't deserve. And then there's people now where I've burnt bridges because of my actions, where I'm thinking, like, you've got to get your shit together, boy. You know what I mean? You've got to, and that's where I'm at now.
But inevitably, you're the one who's fixed you, nobody else.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You're the one who's putting the work in to understand yourself and make the right choices.
Yeah.
People can help all they want.
Yeah, I mean, I've had help for you, like the baby's mum, you know, like, and, you know, she's what she's gone through in her life and where she is now. And obviously, you know, she's got the kids are with her, and rightly so. You know what I mean? You know, I was an issue, like the kids had to go into care because of me, because of the life I introduced her to. All right, yeah. People can say she made her own decisions, or people can say there's no, because I was just there all the time. I was the problem. You know what I mean? I'm the problem. I'm the danger. There's a reason why they should be with her. There's a reason I've said the kids should be with her. And, you know, she's massive. She's also a massive help and lucky in that respect. You know what I mean? But you take it for granted. So you just, when you're in that moment of, like you said before, you know, risk, rewards, take whatever, you just don't care. And like with me, consequences, I don't care. Or I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? I was doing things impulsively. I'm thinking, I'll be all right. It's not. Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it's not. I mean, like, you know, I'm getting there day by day now, but the last 3 weeks, or what I'm going through, mate, it's been so hard, so tough mentally. And, you know, you're thinking, Jesus, like, this shit's not fucking about, you know. And it's scary. Do you know what I mean?
I made a post about it the other week that people make recovery look beautiful, which it is. But it's dark and fucking doom, and it's the toughest stuff. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done with my life. But you mentioned it there, and I've only learnt this from the book Atomic Habits that I reread or listened to the other day.
Yeah.
That cue craving response reward.
Yeah,
that
that's
you mentioned
what I mean.
there.
Yeah.
That's you can sort of analyze that into any part of your life, but especially addiction, right? If we can simplify it and understand that there's a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward, if we can, and you know AVRT already, so maybe if you could attach your AVRT to that sort of, that phrase, if you like, I think that'd be a really powerful tool for you.
Definitely. I mean, there's different things. Like with me at the moment, I'm overthinking a lot. And I'm thinking about things that would never happen, but I'm feeling the emotion of it happening. So that's something I've got to work on. Obviously, we touched on, you know, the eye movement thing before, didn't we? You know, on associating this AMPI, so we've that. And there's just loads of different things. You've just got to find the path now. This time round with the self-harm, and I went to the hospital, and obviously I showed you the video before. And I went to the hospital, and I was in a bad way. You know what I mean? I've got over 30 cuts on my body now at the moment. And I was telling them, I'm going to die. I want to die. I'm going to die. I'm scared to die. You know what I mean? Which is a scary thing to say. I'm not. And it's like, they looked at me and went, and their words to me was, well, you still got capacity because you're not dead yet. And I went, okay. And gave me a leaflet and sent me on my way. And you're just like, there's got to be more out there. Do you know what I mean? So then I'm with the community team now, reached out to them. I have a nurse that comes and sees me every other day. This is only a short-term thing until, obviously, then the psychiatrist happens, and then the medication review happens. Now, the medication, you know, diazepam since April, not great. We're flirting, we're into what? We're touching September now, basically. So that's a long time to be on diazepam. Metazapine, tramadol 100 milligrams, duloxetine 60 milligrams. All this stuff, it just melts you. And then when because you're so numb off it, when you haven't got it there and you start feeling this pain, switch goes.
But now you've started noticing that, right? That means you're understanding who you are, right? And by noticing and understanding who you are, it's going to give you the ability to look forward and improve on your life a lot. That's what I believe, right?
Yeah.
When you mentioned emotions before, I speak about emotions quite a lot. Our emotions are the messengers of who we are as people.
Yeah.
When you're feeling something, it's because your body and mind and soul and spirit or whatever is trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to somebody the other day. There's a quote that I use a lot, which is, the treasure you seek is in the cave that you do not wish to enter.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, a lot of people, especially with addictions and stuff, when we feel emotional, we'll use or we'll drink or we'll do something. Lean into the emotion. Lean into it. Put your head into the cave and have a look what's going on.
Yeah.
Sit there with it. Try and understand it.
Yeah.
Once you've understood it, don't act on it, because a lot of the time when we act on emotion, we make the wrong choice, right?
That's what I'm doing, yeah.
Understand the emotion, sit with it, understand it, and before it leaves, thank it.
Okay.
Say thank you,
Really?
whatever the emotion is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for telling me what you've just told me. I now understand whatever.
Yeah.
Say it to yourself. Say it out loud if you need to.
Yeah.
There's I'm going to start doing it around habits. So one of my guilty pleasures is now that I like to fucking eat chocolate before bed.
Don't me, yeah.
And like last night, I fucking hammered a big massive Galaxy bar before bed.
Love that. Yeah.
But what this sort of association says is to point at it, whatever the physical thing is. I know that is detrimental to my health.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do that because it's going to have a negative effect on me.
Yeah.
But by doing that, like we mentioned before in the car, words give purpose to who we are, right?
Okay.
Words also express emotions. They create an emotion in the body and the mind. So by even something as simple as, like you said before, this is sort of I can't remember the word you said, but you said like, these are my patterns. You said,
Yeah.
even by, have you ever heard the word fake it until you make it?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Positive affirmations until the affirmation becomes unconscious.
Yeah.
And that's what a habit is. All a habit is a behavior that you've done that many times, it becomes unconscious.
Yeah.
Something like cleaning your teeth. As children, we didn't know how to clean our teeth.
No. Second nature now, yeah.
And so by faking it almost until you make it, that creates unconscious habit, which then becomes part of who we are, whether it's positive or negative. Yeah. And this starts, I believe, from tiny things, like small. They call it low-hanging fruit, small, quick wins. So something as simple as, so let's take a morning habit, a morning pattern. I haven't really got one at the moment. That's something I'm trying to work on. Yeah. But by creating a positive morning pattern, that can improve the rest of your day. So what I listened to the other week, it could be something as simple as driving to work a different way every day, or going to the shop, taking a different street to the shop. Yeah. It triggers the conscious mind. Because we do a lot of stuff unconsciously, don't we? Yeah. Get up in the morning, you make a coffee, you go for a smoke, or...
When you're saying that's thingy, so obviously, when I started recovery, I went to certain organisations that you can use, and one of the things they said to us is, so if you were going to go, say I get the train to work, I'd go past this pub, that bar. Subconsciously, is it your addiction making you go that way because you know there's pubs, or can I go another way?
You can definitely go.
Do you know what I mean? So I get what you're saying there. So, you know, you're a creature of habit, aren't you? So then you've got to break the cycle, which is tough, though.
Yeah. And especially when you're in recovery from addiction, we have to think consciously a lot. And that's why it's so hard, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to beat an addiction. Yeah. And I do think they're beatable. I don't think you can live with them for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I really do. And everyone's different.
Yeah.
My belief is we can truly, like, I got asked it a couple of nights ago. Yeah. A gentleman said to me, "Oh, you're in recovery then, right?" Yeah. And I said, "No, I'm not no more. I believe I'm in the growth phase of my life."
Yeah.
When we talk recovery, you think, let's take a muscle, for instance, right? You break it down in the gym, you feed it to recover, but inevitably it'll grow, right?
Yeah.
It becomes bigger than what it once was.
Yeah.
Is that still recovery, or is it growth?
Growth. Yeah.
It's growth, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So there is a spell, I believe, where we go into recovery, and everybody finds it at different times in their lives, and takes longer periods, shorter periods, however that may look. But there inevitably becomes a time where that recovery turns into growth, and you become a better version than you've ever been before in your life.
Yeah.
That's growth, right? That's the power. Yeah. And like I said to you before, I believe that with the work that you're doing, you finally reached out and came here.
Yeah.
That for me is a positive statement to yourself.
Yeah, I've learned. Sorry, go on.
And I was just going to say, because you're listening, because you're understanding, not just from me, from your life, right? You're already changing those habits.
Yeah, so what I have learned, because I was finally, the ADHD's come through, and obviously, you know, you've shouted me now for 2 hours, you can see how I think of it, do you know what I mean? And I'm like just waiting on the bipolar stuff, the medication review. So I've been researching it myself so I can help the people that are helping me, so I can break down exactly what's going on. And I'm looking at things differently where, like a lot of things with me was, I'd always think the worst situation out of everything, anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, so I looked at things the other day and I was like, all right, so is that person talking bad about me? Or have I done a bad thing and they're talking about it? Do you know what I mean? You know, like, is that person wrong by speaking about me, or have I done something wrong and they're talking about it? I'm looking at things objectively now, where it's like, trying to break it down, because that thing I said to you before, the emotional dysregulation, that relates to me all the time, because I used to do this thing where I'd know the answer to a question, and I'd ask that question just for validation. Do you know what I mean? Just oh yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just weird, mate, just weird things.
I mean, it's not weird. There's a lot of people who look for external validation. You see it all over social media all the time.
Yeah.
People will do things, take their tops off, or don't get me wrong, they look well, but they're only doing it so people validate their experience on that app, whatever it is. I used to do it a lot. I talked to you before about the Jungian psychology that I'd learned, and I had the possibility of having the hero complex, where I wanted to look good, I wanted to help people just for, or not necessarily that I did, but what the shadow showed me that it was a possibility, right?
Yeah.
And what that did, it made me understand I'm not doing it for the validation of others or a pat on the back or a well done. I'm not doing that. I'm doing it because I understand what it's like to be in a fucking dark place. But the inevitability of feeling good from doing it is there, right?
Yeah.
So when I was put in front of this shadow, the shadow of like the hero complex, it was like, fucking hell, maybe there is a bit of that in there.
Yeah.
A bit of, I want to be thanked, I want to be praised. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it's like a secondary gain. There's nothing wrong with feeling good, but that should never be the root reason of why you're trying to do something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, stuff. I sometimes like that's when I'd be in the height of using, I'd daydream about stuff like that. Weird. It's like, not weird, but you just like, you'd lose hours of your day just thinking about stuff that would never happen. And it was just mad. And a lot of things now, I think we touched on before, where I think I carry a lot of guilt, where I think that's what I'm starting to look at now, where your past, you know, your past is your past. Like 30 seconds goes past, nothing to do about it.
Yeah.
Your future's your future. But I do have a lot of guilt. The kids with care, my sister passing away, my mum passing away, and I couldn't do nothing about all them 3 fucking things. So I couldn't do it, and it kills me. So it kills me, and it's like, you know, my sister Kelly, mate, she's my best mate, lad. And you know, she's young, mate, 38. I've just outlived her. Do you know what I mean? I've outlived me big sister. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what?
How did she pass?
Multiple organ failure over drinking drugs. And I didn't find 10 days, like, what killed me. 10 days she lads in bed in the hospital. No one told me. My sister knew. Which is fine. This was my sister's wishes, which is fine. I'm not having to go with my family, nothing like that. My mother went down, made peace with her. You know, the last time I seen her was an argument, me saying to her, listen, sort your head out, you're a junkie, sort your head out. And we had a bit of, like, because she went for my mum, so I had to stop it. That was the last time I ever seen my sister alive. The next time I seen her, she was yellow on her bed. What if I just stopped and listened and spoke? You can always beat yourself up like that, you know what I mean? And then the kids, you know, my eldest lad, you know, the baby, my eldest lad at the time, speak the baby was a baby, and he's hanging on to door frames. Daddy, daddy. And this one sentence will haunt me for the rest of life, and I hope it does, and good. Because, daddy, can I come home now? Daddy, I want to come home now. Right, that's there all day, every day. And he's hanging on. And I'm like, and as a father, you're a father yourself. You're powerless. It's like you're chained to a radiator watching someone knock your kids about. It's nothing you could do. But finally, the home through the good work of the mother and the hair support network and what we've done. And I've backed it. I've not gone against it. I've done nothing but champion it. And rightly so. But like that, and then you got me mum. Mate, you know, strongest woman who's ever walked this earth, in my opinion. You know what I mean? She kicked cancer's head in for 14 years. Pulmonary edema, that took her. And I I have this reoccurring dream, which I know she's there. I see her in the dream, and she's there with me, and I'm hugging her so tight, and I know in the dream she's dead, but she's there, and mate, I'm sobbing because I can't stop it. I cannot stop her going, and I need her more than ever. Do you know what I mean? And I can't stop her. Mate, you wake up and you're just like, whoa. And usually after that, I want to use, I want to drink, I don't want to feel. Right now, I'm not. I'm sitting with it. I'm breathing with it. I'm trying my best with it. But, some days are better than others. But there's a lot of work to be done. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work to be done to get the things I want back out of life, the things that I had. Do you know what I mean? It's tough.
I've got a question for you. Who would you be without that guilt?
Still be me, wouldn't I? But
what does that look like to you? If you could imagine yourself walking in your path of who Paulie is, who he wants to be.
Oh, without me demons.
Well, who would you be without the guilt?
Me. You know what, me? I don't know that person. I don't know. I know what I want.
What's that?
You know what I mean? I want, obviously, just happiness and contentness. Do you know what I mean? Like, what I briefly had it, literally this year, and I was like, there's a group of lads with a group of mates, and I've let all them down, and they know who they are, and we had everything, and I was financially okay. Met a great girl, boss. You know what I mean? Everything was going great, and then within a matter of 2 weeks, maybe, I blew it all up. I want what I want back. I want the thingy back, and it's just that this is a pattern for me over the years. You get something, you go, oh, fuck that. Let's start again. I've got to maintain it, and the only way of doing that is rewiring it, breaking down what's going on, but doing it properly. I've never done it properly the way I'm doing it now. I'm going to psychiatrists, medication review, crisis nurses with me.
I'll help you.
I'll help you. I know you're there, Lee. Speaking to you, I'm reading things when I can comprehend how to read things. You know what I mean? Like just something like I said to you before, if I get a text message more than 3 sentences long, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to read it. I'll look at it and go, oh no. I can't do it.
He's like that. He has to read voice notes on like times 10. He can't sit there and listen to them.
Like the gaffer, the lad I called the gaffer, he sent me a voice note over 2 minutes long, and I knew I was in trouble. I knew I'd upset him by my actions, and I thought, I'm not dealing with that. My brain would just not let me press play. I was petrified of what was on that voice note. Do you know what I mean? And then anything like over a minute, I'm thinking that's not good. It could be fine.
What scared you about the voice note?
Obviously, because I knew you don't want to. You don't want to get fucking sold off to you. And he's not telling me off. He's a mate. Do you know what I mean? He's not my boss. I just call him the gaffer. Do you know what I mean? But it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't want to deal with it. Where you're hiding away, and then even arguments, when I was arguing, and I'm getting voice notes, like, I'm not listening. I'm not dealing with that, because if I don't listen to it, it's not. I can't register it, and I can't feel the pain from it. Yeah, I run away and hide where you don't need. I don't need to, because things aren't as always bad as I make out to be. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, the ADHD is a massive thing that I've got to get sorted and try and get on a level playing field, so I can rebuild my life, get the people I want in my life back, and just getting some contentness and happiness, really. It seems like a million miles away, but it's not.
For me, again, a question that I've heard be answered quite a lot is or one I've learned the most is what people want out of life. And a lot of people say happiness, this and that. Well-being, freedom, and meaning are the only 3 things that a human being ever wants in his life or her life. Well-being, freedom, and meaning. Yeah. Some people call it financial freedom. Yeah. But at the end, inevitably, when you when you simplify it all, it's well-being, meaning, and freedom. Yeah. Now, when we talk, what they called, when you say that you're going to get diagnosis.
Yeah.
When we talk diagnoses, right? So let's just say, for instance, they say, yes, you've got ADHD. Yeah. At this moment in time, sat here with me, what difference would that make to your journey?
I think I don't know if it makes something right. Okay, so maybe I'm looking for something to blame, or looking for a reason for this is why I'm acting like that. you know what I mean? Or this is why I'm doing it like that. It gives it some meaning otherwise. But then on the other side, this is what I mean. This is what I do all day. I argue. And if I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to the lad I've made in my head. And I'm like, oh, you know, maybe it's that. But I can choose how to act though sometimes. But then a lot of the time I don't. I would like, my impulsivity at the minute is off the Richter, which I never used to be like that, where I used to think it through and then do it. And then now I do and go, oh, shit. Then I try and fix it, and you make it worse. And then you try and fix it some more, and you make it more worse. Do you know what I mean? You're just trying to just get yourself sorted. And I'm lucky, I've got a couple of people around, I touched on before, Kiki. She keeps me grounded, and she keeps, like, every day we talk on the phone, and she's, she works she manages a bar, quite a successful bar in Boole, and by no means, she's like, you're not coming in, you're not even coming down for a coffee. She's keeping me, she looks after me in that respect. And she's just, she's a legend. Obviously, she's going to come on. We spoke to her before. I've got people around me that's helping me with the impulse stuff. Obviously, I can't speak to the baby's mum at the minute, to the orders with the children, which I miss a lot. Because Gemma was, she was my safe space, you know what I mean? But I had to grow with that, and I've had to deal with not having that no more. And loneliness. Now, I think, with me, my biggest fear in life is being alone. I don't like it. Don't like myself, don't like it. But I think I've manifested it because of my family. My sister, she's got her own kids, and she's been through a lot. She lost my mum and her husband within 2 weeks of each other. And her husband was surprised. She texted him, do you want a chippy? He's like, oh, he hasn't got down. It was when COVID was on. He hasn't got back to me on upstairs. He's lying there dead in the bed. Do you know what I mean? 2 weeks after losing her mum. Do you know what I mean? So she's a rock, she's sound, but she can't mess with me at the minute because she's got her own stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? She can't. She can't. And that's hard as well. So I've had to rework a lot of things which I'm in the middle of. But I just think the loneliness and now being alone, I always end up back to me. I've got to be manifesting. I've got to be doing something wrong. Not wrong, but there's traits, and I need to change because the drinking, the meetings, like just drinking, socialise, bevy, home, do it again. And like I used this phrase before, I was feeding my nose for, I was feeding my kids. Yeah. Simple as that. No sugar coming about it, no way. Oh, well, I had a bit of an issue. No, mate, I was an addict. I was a crackhead. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I still got addiction. Do you know what I mean? And I've got well better than that person. He's dead, I've killed him. He's dead, but now I've got to try and manage to who I am now. It's just tough, innit? But you've got to figure it out. This is why I'm here now, in the middle of why I'm rebuilding it, because if there is people watching it, you've got to see this is what it is. This is what you're going through. It's not, like you said before, people think it's beautiful, and it is at the end. But there is no end. Some people say, you don't get to a point where they go, okay, you're recovered. You're fucking not. I promise you that. You've got to constantly, just...
And that's why I use the word growth.
Yeah.
Because growth is never ending. You have to keep growing. Yeah. You have to keep improving. Yeah. And I was going to say before, I think for me, the first thing you need to do, brother, is start being fucking kinder to yourself.
Definitely.
Because a lot of the words you use, we've been sat here now for 20 minutes, half an hour nearly. You've not said one good thing about yourself in the whole time. And it's something, and I can tell you're getting emotional over that. But the first thing you need to do is start to be kinder to yourself, because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will.
I get that, lad, but, mate, you do so many bad things in your life, or you hurt so many people, you take, people give me so many chances, and I've fucked a lot. Do you know what I mean? Just as I said, the three of my closest mates, you know what I mean? And burnt the bridges with them at the minute, and I'm begging, I'm begging, oh boys, and lads, you keep saying this, mate, but you keep going back to the lad that we don't like.
But you've just admitted yourself that's what you do.
I know. I've got a lot of work to be done, but...
So what does that tell you? If they're saying that they're willing to give you the chance, but you keep you keep going back to... Yeah. So you mentioned it yourself, right? You came back to yourself. You said it before. Inevitably, You had the cue, craving, response,
Yeah,
reward,
yeah.
and then you end up coming back to who you are. Yeah. There's something that I've learned called the golden spiral, which is when you talk growth is never a straight line. Growth does this. That's how growth happens. Inevitably, I go down a journey of learning, I don't know, let's say I study about the brain, right, neuroscience. For a couple of weeks, I'll be down this road of education.
Yeah.
But inevitably, once I've learned what I need to learn, I'll come back to myself. All that does, it gets added on top of who I am, right? Like building a wall. That wall is you, and brick by brick. The wall's always the wall. You just added more bricks.
Yeah.
But what you're doing the opposite. You're the wall, but you're taking bricks out all the time.
Okay.
So when you say you're coming back to yourself, you're always coming back to yourself in a lesser version, right? Because you're punishing yourself all the time. You're chipping away at your wall rather than building the wall. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And what we've got to do, the people around you, and if you want my help, I'll help you.
100%, mate. Yeah.
We've got to start just chucking a little bit of cement on, even if it's just a small amount here and there. Chuck a brick on, chuck half a brick on, chuck a fucking pebble on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, and that's the beauty about real recovery, right?
Yeah.
That's the fucking beauty, is that if we're just going to sit in rooms and have conversations, you're just going to go back to yourself over and over again. Yeah. You've got to really, in those difficult moments, by making the right choice once, gives you the power to do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, until inevitably it becomes unconscious. That's what recovery is. Yeah. That's what growth is. Yeah. At the moment, you've just been living in this fucking chaotic spiral. And I talk about chaos quite a lot. Chaos is the outcome of control, right? You want to control the narrative of what happens with you. You have an argument, I'll go and get wrecked.
Yep.
Because then nobody can do anything to me. Yeah. I'll go into this defense mode where fuck the world, fuck everybody. Yeah. That's control. Yeah. But the outcome of control is chaos.
100%.
Chaos of your environment, chaos of your mind, chaos of your soul. And I genuinely believe that the first thing you've got to do is just say, do you know what? I'm not a bad person. I can tell good or bad. Well, there's this, the presupposition is called in NLP, there are no good or bad people. Yeah. And I've used this term before, and it sounds crazy when you say there was people in the world who thought Hitler was a good person. Yeah. Nazis, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's about perception. First of all, it's your perception of who you are. If you think I'm a bad person, I'm this, you're going to be one. Yeah. But if you start being kinder to yourself with your words, most importantly, that change. So whenever we tell ourselves something, there's chemicals go through our brain, neurons in the heart, the belly. You tell yourself you're a certain way, boom, your body will react to those. Yeah. So just start with the words. Do you know what? I've made some, rather than saying, I hold the guilt of my past, just say, I've made some mistakes, but I'm trying to improve. I am. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the start, right? So you've just said those words, which means you're already starting to move forward. Yeah. And that's the most important thing. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, what you're saying, because this is, like I said there, where I've tried to do this journey before, I've always just done it for, I've got to do this. You know what I mean? Just this time, mate, it is life or death. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I mean, hey.
So let's take now then. You just said, I've got to do it. Now you get the chance to say, I want to do it.
Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, I want, like you saying there before, when I made a choice, Fridays, I know people throw this word around, trigger, all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like we spoke about it before. I get it, but Fridays, I'd say, like back when I was working, and you obviously had to get paid on a Friday. So every day, you're leading up to that Friday. You know what comes on a Friday. I know. Early finish, money's in your bank, straight down to the place where you drink, straight on the phone to do your ring. That was me pattern. So when it comes to Friday, Monday through Thursday, now I'm not no longer working. Monday through Thursday, I'm fine. I don't think much. I don't think about using much or drinking. It doesn't really bother me. Then the Friday comes, and it's, do you know what I mean? So yesterday I was like, that's what, I just knocked myself out on some calisthenics. Went for the jog, went for the swim, was on the sauna, come back, knocked out, still couldn't sleep. And obviously that's probably coming off the dialysis and stuff like that. And then that dream, my mum, my sister, my kids, you know, the girl, everything, do you know what I mean? It's just like, going was mad. So
Friday was never the trigger. Right. Friday was the cue.
Okay. Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Friday wasn't the trigger. It doesn't trigger you to do anything. No. It's the cue. Yeah. Craving, response, reward, right? Yeah. People use the word trigger. I don't believe there is. I said to you before, I don't believe there is anything such as a trigger. Yeah. I could use the word trigger to excuse any action that I do in my life. Yeah. I could walk into a shop now and pull a bottle of whiskey off the fucking shelf and drink it. I was triggered by that bottle of whiskey on the shelf.
Yeah, no, I can respect that.
It was the meaning that I allowed that physical object to have. Yeah. That alcohol, and then you respond to it, right? By taking away, again, we talked before about emotions. I used AVRT quite a lot in the early stages of my recovery because I'd see alcohol or I'd see drugs and instantly I'd get fucking me back up and I'd get emotional. Yeah. But I named my addiction Voldemort, and I've said it before. So as soon as I seen it, or as soon as I started that pattern in my mind of cue, craving, response, reward, I'd say it straight away, Voldemort, fuck you, and I'd walk off. Yeah. Because it was like, I know what you're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? And by recognising that, it allowed me to understand it and respond without the emotion, respond in a rational mind. You know, in AVRT, it talks about the rational mind, the neocortex in the brain, which is your rational brain. Then you have the limbic system, which is your emotional brain. Yeah. And by acting from emotion, you always choose the wrong fucking choice.
You do, especially with me. And like you're saying there, though, you called yours Voldemort. I've got an issue now with because I touched on before. I don't like the loneliness, don't like alone. Yeah. And then I created this version of my mum's name, God rest her soul, Francis. So I created it's me. Well, I'm on a business. So it's me. Right, and its name, I call him Franny, break it down, Franny, because Francis is my mother's name, so Franny. And he's the better version of me. He was like, oh yeah, and I was like, and there's something to go on. Like I'd think of something, and I feel bad, and I think something to make me feel better, and I think of him and go, where have you been, lad? You know, he give me the confidence or something, or you go, everything's going to be all right. It'd be something like that, and I go, where have you been? And then recently, because I was hitting it that much, the drug psychosis kicked in, the drink psychosis kicked in, the blackouts kicked in. And Franny went from a support network that I created to back myself up, which is not healthy, I don't know. But this fella went dark. And no, but like you said before, dissociation, I'm blaming him for decisions I was making. Fair enough. But I'm sitting there and I'm cutting myself, mate. And like, oh God, I'm right there now, where it was. I'm sitting there in my bed and I'm cutting myself, and I'm on the phone arguing with someone. And I'm cutting myself. And that argument didn't need to happen. I could have dealt with that situation well more. It was with me mate, and it just didn't. He said something I didn't like. I could have went about it a different way, but no, I just went off. I just didn't care and went off and I snapped. And he didn't deserve it. My body didn't deserve it. And I was sitting there, and like I was saying to you before, just use myself as like a pincushion. And then I'm saying to people, I'm not scared of dying. That's a lie, mate. I don't want to die.
You just don't know any other way to live.
I don't want to die, lads. I've got two baby boys there, lads. They're the most precious things in the world to me. And they don't know how, like, the dad's sitting in the room, sitting there, stabbing himself.
It's not that you ever wanted to die. It's that you just don't know any other way to live.
No, that's it. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to you before, you know, the way I was cutting myself and what I was using, I did not feel pain, not one day of it. Even recovering and the cut, the bruises, the healing and everything like that. No pain. But I'd sit there and I could sit there for hours watching the blood come out of it. Do you know what I mean? And then, now, like you're saying, you got to watch yourself feel. I do. I find myself looking at my scars here and going, but then you find yourself like, what are you on about, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, even now, I'm only a month away from doing it. From done it. So, yeah. Like, looking at me going, what? Where was you out there, bro? So it's just no good. So I'm like, yeah, it's just mad how you can just bounce around. That drug, obviously, what we know it is, the cocaine, that will fuck you each way it gets you. Do you know what I mean? And it's ruined my life, I promise you.
Again, but by sitting there now, though, you're making the choice to move forward, right?
100%, yeah. 100%.
The past is the past. Like there's a tool that we can teach you called the swish method.
Yeah.
So where you imagined yourself there that night, you said you're there now, right? Yeah. You were sat there watching yourself hurt yourself, maybe. Yeah. There's a swish method where, let's take Franny for instance, where you usually see Franny as a positive role model in your life. What we can do then is picture Franny as your future self. That's who you want to be, right?
That's it,
yeah. So that's who Franny is. What you can do with the thought process in your head of where you're sat there hurting yourself. The method's called the swish method, and what we can do is you overlap the images in your mind. So what you can do is you can turn the negative picture black and white, take the sound away from it, make it really small, and what we can do is we can advance this. We'll call it Franny, the positive, strong, healthy, perfect, or not perfect. There's no such thing, but the version of you that you want to be, right? The version that makes you fucking feel good. Yeah. And what you do is you swish that image over the old image and make it huge in your mind. And what you do it over and over again. And then what that does, you start associating more with that image then. Yeah. You start to almost become that image. Through emotions, through choices, through behaviours, through patterns, through skills. And we can do that. It's called the swish method. We can do it a couple of times. Yeah. But again, mate, mental imagery, mental mastery has been so fucking powerful for me. And you have three different styles of learning, right? You have visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Yeah. So auditory is somebody who learns most when they're listening. Okay. Musicians, people who are artistic people. Visual, I learn through imagery. So I can't remember a conversation sometimes that I had fucking yesterday. Okay. But I can remember a movie that I watched fucking 20 years ago, word for word. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just deal well. And in my mind's like a television screen. Yeah. So I can put images on it. I can control images, right? Yeah, and most people in the world are visual just because of the life that we live. We're always using it. We use our eyes a lot more now than what we did 70 years ago. And what I mean by that is there's more to concentrate on with your eyes. Yeah. 70 years ago, they didn't have televisions. They only had radios, right? So they'd learn more with their ears. Or have you noticed in the working world, there's far more less engineers than there was 50 years ago. Yeah. People want to go into fucking YouTubing or, do you know what I mean?
Influencing.
And that the kinesthetic is that, learning with your body, learning with your hands, with tools, with your feet. That's what the kinesthetic is. So the majority of people are visual. Visual people speak very fast. They like to. I do as well. I'm trying to control it. I'm trying to speak a lot slower.
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
We like to finish off people's sentences. You find a lot of people, if we're having a conversation, you'll try and say the last 2 or 3 words to that sentence. I do that all the time. But it can be used as your gold. You know, it can be your superpower. Where by changing the mental images in your mind, it changes how you feel. It's fucking, this shit works.
It does, man. That's it. It does. I mean, I do try and do some positive stuff, think of good stuff and positive stuff. Because when the negative stuff comes in, I go, and then I just go, I think of my kids or whatever. I do something fun or do something. I do try and do that. It does work. It does pick it up. But then I slip straight back. And then so obviously, you know, when with the ADHD thing getting diagnosed and the medication review, maybe I'm leaning on that a bit and I'm thinking, right, that's going to fix me. But obviously, all this, like what you're saying there, there's a lot of tools that I need to add to my toolbox to maintain, to get the goal, to get what I want.
But like we said before, right, we're only as good as our worst day.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And my worst day is a lot better than what it was 12 months ago. And you can do the same, you know. Yeah. And it's in the good days are good. The good days are great, right? The good days are
boss.
Brilliant. Yeah. It's in the bad days that we understand who we are as people.
It's the crash, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
If we can, at the end of the day, mate, like you said before, you want a happy life, right? Happiness is an emotion. It's not a lifestyle.
That's true. Yeah.
There's no such thing as a happy life. Billionaires, you know, we look at billionaires and think, fucking perfect lives. The suicide rates in billionaires and millionaires is fucking astronomical. Yeah. Money doesn't bring happiness. Internal, you know, how can we call it? Sculpture of who we are. That brings happiness, right? Yeah. So
it's a mindset, like you said, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm living. If we want to call it happy, I'm living a really happy life. But I get sad. I get down. I feel like shit sometimes. But it's by understanding those emotions and what they're telling you that you improve, right?
That's it. That's what I've got to try and understand, because obviously, all you do is just think about the negative all day. All day.
Positive.
And then you try and find a positive, and you're thinking, and then the negative keeps back in, and it's exhausting, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever heard of that book behind you there, The Chimp Paradox?
I haven't, no.
So, it's by Stephen Peters.
Yeah.
He was like, he's just a fucking genius, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to AVRT, where we call the addictive voice recognition technique.
Yeah.
It's about naming your emotional brain. Mine's called Brian.
Right.
So when I'm feeling emotional, I say, well, that's Brian talking to me.
Yeah.
What's Brian saying?
Yeah.
But by understanding what he's saying, you can then make a conscious choice off the emotion. And that is really, if you don't take anything else away from today, take that. Name your emotional brain. Call him something. Yeah. Don't call him Franny, because Franny's your positive.
Yeah.
But just call it, I don't know, fucking Jeff.
Yeah.
And whenever,
Jeff.
My name's Jeff. When you're feeling emotional, just say, that's Jeff talking. Yeah. We need to get away from Jeff. Yeah. You know, we need to go and see Franny. Yeah. Right? Do you know what I mean? But by saying that, allows conscious choice to go and do it.
That's it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just start something small like that.
That's true. I think what is working for me, actually, I'm setting little goals of a day. I'm getting up, I'm going to bed at a reasonable hour, not sleeping, but I'm getting up at a reasonable hour, I'm like, right, I'm just going to get up, I'll do some calisthenics straight away, that's the goal, feel good. Then I'm going, right, okay, so today I'm going to go and have a little swim, half an hour, 45 minutes, done, feel good. I'm not going to eat that today, I'm going to have that. Or I like, even just a little like, even when you're setting times when you eat, right, I've just had that, so there's no point, why won't you eat that, I'll eat that then. Yeah. You got there, just creating little disciplines.
Yeah.
So stuff like that's helping.
Well, they're brilliant. That's in Atomic Habits, the book, that's what he says, small, low-hanging fruit. Yeah. Pick your small wins. Yeah. And small wins build into huge wins, right? Yeah. So that's really important that you're doing that, and that's brilliant. That's the type of stuff you need to be starting with. Yeah. I've learned something about motivation. It's called away from and towards motivation. Okay. So when we speak of addiction, a lot of people are in away motivation. They're running away from something. A lot of people do that with the gym and stuff as well. Yeah. Have you ever heard people say the gym is my therapy? Yeah. No such thing. No. It's not. The gym is therapeutic. Yeah. It's not therapy. It makes you feel good because you're releasing endorphins in the brain and your muscles and stuff. But 2 hours after going to the gym, you're back to whoever you were before you went to the gym, right? Yeah. So by creating those small wins, those small patterns, and the away from motivation and the towards motivation, find a towards motivation. Pick a target. Yeah. Whether that's in a week's time, I want to have ate right for 5 days, been to the gym for 3 days. Yeah. Don't do it, I'm only going to the gym because I don't want to be this person. Okay. Pick something that is in the future, right? Yeah. So even if it's something simple, write on your fridge. In a week's time, I want to have gone to the gym 3 or 4 times, and I want to have maybe, I don't know, lost X amount of weight or put on a X amount of muscle. And then in a week's time, you tick it. I fucking achieved that. Yeah. And you feel that's brilliant. Yeah. But at the moment, it's an away from motivation, right? You go in the gym because I don't want to be this way. Yeah. So let's flip those words to I'm going to the gym because I want to be this person. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. And that's called away from motivation and towards. Yeah. So when we talk about the emotions and making conscious decision, ask yourself, say it out loud. Where do I want to be in a day's time based on how I feel now? Yeah. Well, what you just said there is getting here today, coming here today. I've come here because I want to be here. I wanted to be here, not because I'm on a recovery thing and I'm in the same vibe and I've got to go. Do you know what I mean? No, I wanted to come here. I actively, what time did they text you? What, 6:30 this morning? 6:30 this morning, yeah. Something like going to the gym every day in a bit. Yeah. Like that, and I was here, an hour early, you know what I mean? Walking around Flint. This is like, not that there's much of Flint to walk around. No. But yeah, do you know what I mean? I was up for it. I was at it because I wanted, like, this is the difference now. The want is there. Yeah. Not the, I better do this so I can get back to that. Yeah. No. Like, the things of, what is it?
law of attraction runs a burn, yeah, and manifestation and stuff like that. Some of it's bullshit, some of it's not. It depends on you as a person, I believe. Now, when I was sitting there thinking about it, because I was thinking about this last night and on the train here, I was thinking what we want to talk about and what I want to speak to you about and stuff. The stuff I had, I was all right. You know what I mean? I wasn't using, I wasn't drinking, and I was like that. And I was thinking, you know what? Good things organically come to you when you're doing all right, and then when you start going down the rabbit hole and you start doing these things, that's when all the shit happens, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I do think law of attraction, you're attracting these things to you, and you got to listen.
So everything I've just told you is based around the law of attraction.
Yeah.
The law of attraction for me is a Hollywood term.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But the word itself, I mean.
Yeah.
So the guy who mentors me, he calls it the art of becoming.
Okay.
And NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is all about the art of becoming a better version of who you are. Yeah. He calls it the inevitability of identity. Yeah. By creating what we talked around emotions, forward motivation, internal motivation instead of external, no self-validation or validation from others. Everything has to be internal. All these things that we've spoke about have to be internal. Of course, and once they become internal, that gives you an inevitability of becoming, right? So when we talk forward motivation, let's say I want to be a TEDx so one of mine is TEDx public speaker. I want to go, I want one stage in my life to stand on a TEDx stage and talk.
Gosh.
So there's my goal. What have I got to do to get from there to there? Yeah. And that is the art of becoming. That is the law of attraction. Yeah. To get from there to there, what have I got to do? Not what have I got to do to stay away from this? Yeah. What have I got to do to get to there? And that is the law of attraction.
I get it.
But simplified and broken down.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. That's what I want. And I think as well, obviously, again, the want is there. And obviously the stuff that, the mistakes that I made, I don't mean them. And that's not like some top shithousery there. I don't mean to do the shit I do. I don't mean to be a pain. I don't. And again, obviously, I think that, I'm not putting it all, I've got AJC, that's why. I'm not putting it on that. But the impulsivity, and I don't actually mean to cause this trouble. I don't actually mean to cause this drama. All I've tried to do is be nice and be kind and be doing it. And then I've just got myself in a shitty situation again where I've thought, mate, this can't go on. Like, that's sitting there cutting yourself. Do you know what I mean? 38 years of age, what are you doing, bro? Do you know what I mean? It's not good, is it? And obviously, I am an emotional person. And I do struggle, the regulation of it, I do struggle to figure out what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's tough like that. And I think, obviously, what you said before, and I don't know if this is a different version of the words you said before, about the cave and stuff, about the stuff that you don't want to go into the cave. Chris Williamson, the talker fella, motivational speaker, whatever. He said that the magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's similar to what you were saying.
Exactly the same.
Is it? Yeah.
Exactly the same.
And it's like, you know what? You're spot on, mate. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to stop blaming everything. It's only me. Do you know what I mean? It's me who's making these decisions. So that's what I've got to try and figure out. And obviously,
you've also got to stop blaming yourself, though, because inevitably it's done.
It is done.
The decisions you've made, the decisions you've chose, they're done. Yeah. We can't go back and change them. I know. But what we can do is be a better version of ourselves based on those mistakes. I've made fucking tons of mistakes in my life, mate. Tons.
Bro, that's a whole other podcast if you want to talk about that, mate. Yeah.
But there is no point me sitting here and dwelling on the past.
Yeah, of course.
Because it doesn't serve any purpose for my life anymore. And you've got, and it's easy for me to sit here on almost a high horse and say that I've done the work, but I have. Yeah. And but again, it's conscious, right? I've still got to work on myself to ensure that those mistakes don't ever get made again.
That's it, yeah. That's what I want to get to. Do you know what? Yeah, when you're saying what you want out of life, I want to be able to get back to the mindset where I can make a decision, not just
move forward to the mindset.
Move forwards. I want to move forward with my mindset in terms of I've done that. Fucking, I didn't think that through. I want to be able to, like you just said there, you're consciously doing things. I'm not consciously doing things. I'm doing things like that. And mistakes are made. I'm sorry. I am so sorry for the way I've been. And I really have not meant it. And you know what? He's just like, oh, it's exhausting, bro. And you're like, I know, that's why I decided to come on 4 weeks into it. Because people need to see how raw it is and how bad it gets. You know what I mean?
Have you ever looked at ACEs?
No.
Adverse Childhood Events?
No.
So what ACEs is basically a questionnaire, 1 to 10.
Okay.
Of stuff that's happened in people's lives, whatever that may be, from physical abuse to sexual abuse to parents breaking up when you were a child. Yeah. And what it does, it rates you on a scale of 1 to 10 how severe your ACEs are as a person. Yeah. I don't know what yours would be. I think I got 8 out of 10, something like that. The average, the national average, or I think the global average probably is around 3 or 4. Okay. Anything above 3 or 4, you're 10 times more likely to fall into addiction as an adult. 10 times. Yeah. And most people I speak to are around 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So that's when you say you don't mean to do them. I agree because I was very similar. I never meant to be a knobhead. I never meant to fucking hurt people.
No, man.
But it just happened based on generational. So the genetics is one. The way you were raised as a baby, the way you were raised as an infant, the way you were... And this isn't saying your parents or any other parents have made mistakes. These things just happen. Yeah. I'm a parent, I've made shitloads of mistakes, fucking tons. The way your environment, again, coming from an environment like Liverpool, I'd imagine there was a lot of fucking madness going on.
Yeah. Kept on your toes.
Then you into your teenage years, then you come across high school. High school's a difficult place for young children when they're full of fucking testosterone or emotions. Yeah. A lot of bad things happen in schools. Yeah. Then when you come onto early adult, being a young adult, alcohol's introduced, drugs are introduced, women are introduced, relationships are introduced. All these things that we don't really know or understand or how to control them. And we're given all these things like, there you go, deal with all this. Yeah. There's no fucking guidebook to how we deal with life. Yeah. People make mistakes.
I mean, the guidebooks talking about dealing with life, I mean... my upbringing was all right. My dad's a very successful joiner, master joiner. We never wanted for anything. We didn't. You know what I mean? Like people say, it's tough not having nothing when you're a kid. It's tough. I get that. I get it. But it's tough having a lot and then having nothing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And my dad left my mum, when I turned 18 and said to me, I was waiting for you to turn an adult so I could leave that bitch. And I was crazy, and then my whole world fell apart then, because my mouth fell apart. Then it just everything, mate. It was just gone. And then the guidebook, like after everything else, so my sister died, then my mum died, and then the kids were in care, then my mum died. Then my relationship with the mum broke down. And then the worst for me is I was homeless then. I was on the streets, bro. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't for a long time. People are out there doing years, and I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Mine wasn't for a long time at all. I only dipped my toe into it, if you want to put it that way. But, oh my God, the fear, shit. I jumped through a window. I've got an 8 centimetre scar across my head because I impaled myself with the glass as I jumped through the window, smashed the window, jumped through it. A centimetre away from my brain. Staples on my head. And I'm lying on the street thinking, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? And like, then when you get somewhere where these housing option people put you somewhere, that's only for 24 hours, not even that. And oh God, I can't tell you how scary it is not knowing where you're going to sleep the next day. You can't sleep that night because you're shitting yourself. Do you know what I mean? And it gets dark and you're walking around town and you're going to a 24-hour Mackey's. Or what did they tell you? Go and sit in the library. Do you know what I mean? And like, you know, housing options, like I work for I do voluntary work now, Step to Shelter. We're trying to help everyone. Housing options hate us because we're trying to get people off the streets. Do you know what I mean? And the behaviours, people think, the thieves, the smackheads, they're doing that to survive, not just for the buzz. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've done it. Where I've gone and got something because I genuinely needed it. Do you know what I mean? And like, I can't tell you, again, the baby's mum saved me on that. But again, the behaviours in the guidebook, there is no guidebook because I wouldn't have thought a million years ago that I would end up on the streets. And mate, it's petrifying. Sleeping in doorways. And what's broke about the fucking system is, we've got to evidence them on the street. We've got to come see you multiple times at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, sleep in the street.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
And then there is places that they can go. Now, I was doing something the other week, and I was seeing a fella boarding up a place, and they'd been empty because homeless got in there. Abandoned building, and he's emptied it. And I said to this fella, I went, how much is that job cost the council for you to come out and board that? And he was like, oh, mate, this is £800 job for me, this. And he said, yeah. And it's okay, so the council paying you that? I mean, yeah, to got a contract with them. Okay, that's good for you. You got a job, that's your living, you got kids, that's fine. But if they put that £800 to housing, feeding and putting somewhere, you know what I mean? The system's fucked. So that's why obviously Steps to Shelter's great, we're all there to help. But going back to the guidebook, mate, there is no guidebook. Do you know what I mean? And like, I managed to get myself out of it through help from basically the baby's mum. She had no rights. She'd have to help me, that, after what I'd fucking done, I'm doing. But she did. She got me back out of it. And, I got a house through people that she knows, and I'm back now in terms of I've got a roof over my head. And it's that's my sanctuary now. Do you know what I mean? And it's mine. I never again would have fucking give anything else up. I wouldn't. You've no chance. Oh, sign your house off and go and live with me. No. Because this doesn't work. Where am I going? Never again. But mate, the fear of that alone.
But even that, you're associating a relationship with the fear of it not working, right?
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? Your initial thought there is, I've got to keep this because if it doesn't work with me and her, I've got to go back.
Yeah.
So even from a relationship standpoint, you're not allowing yourself to be truly involved. There's always a piece of you because of the past. There's always that piece of you just keeping yourself on your toes almost. Which is
exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? See why I'm just constantly... Now, I'm getting better, but it's like... In terms of getting better, me living space was messy for a bit. It was cluttered. And I was like, oh no. And then now, obviously, that's spotless now. And then the next thing I'll lose, the beards will be gone soon and the hair will be cut again. And that's because that goes, like you said yourself, you put the weight on, sometimes you can lose the weight not eat, or sometimes you're over. So I'm slowly but surely getting back to who I am. And hopefully, I can mend the bridges with the people that I want to mend them with.
And you will.
I will. Hopefully I do, mate. But
no, let's say it. You will.
I will. Yeah, I will. That's what I want. Yeah. And that's what I will do. And I will try to do. It's tough, innit? So, and, there is organisations that help you, but I think essentially you've got to help yourself.
I made a post the other day about acceptance. Acceptance can be a good thing. Accepting what's happened to us in the past, what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Understanding it, moving forward, right? That's acceptance. But acceptance can also be a fucking bad thing.
Yeah.
By accepting, I will always be this way. I don't deserve love.
Yeah.
I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves love in this world.
Yeah.
Every single fucking person on it.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Likes of paedophiles and fucking...
Some wrong ones, like,
yeah. You know what I mean? But we all deserve the chance to be happy. We all deserve the chance to fucking feel loved and feel wanted and embrace of another human being, whether that's through friendship, whether that's through relationships, whether that's through family. But by not being able to accept it...
Yeah, mate. To have that, feel love wanted, lad. Oh. Just feels like a distant dream, mate. You know what I mean?
Still a dream though, right?
Still a dream, bro, yeah. No, you do, bro, yeah. Just like... kills you, Kills you.
So what we got to do, mate, is through the people around you, let's fucking build the wall, man.
Definitely.
Build that wall.
Definitely, mate, definitely. 100%. Okay, got to get it going, haven't we?
We're already going.
We're all going.
We're already going.
I'm in the middle of it, do you know what I mean? Yeah, we'll do it.
Never mind, we're
going.
in
the middle of it, we're starting it, do you know what I mean?
So, and that's it. All you got to do. I say it a lot, right, about you might have heard me say it about the trees analogy.
No.
When people are walking through the woods, they're always looking for the light at the end, to find that path out of the woods.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Enjoy the walk. Look at the trees. Look at the birds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're so fucking caught up as human beings on the end goal. I need to be here.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride, man. Yeah. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the learnings. Enjoy the education. Enjoy the good times. Learn from the difficult times, right? That's the most important thing. You're always going to come back to yourself and you're always as good as your worst day. But just every day, make that bad day just a little bit brighter.
Yeah, that's
Do you know what I mean?
I use the analogy sometimes where you don't have to see the finish line, you just got to see the next step.
There is no finish line.
There isn't. Like that's the main thing that like grind your gears, don't it? Like, oh yeah, so I'll graduate this program. What program? What are you on about, bro? You're not going to be fixed in 12 weeks. I fucking promise you that. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to be fixed in 12 years.
My end goal is when they put me in the ground.
Yeah.
That's the moment where my life, that's the finish line.
That's the finish line, yeah.
When I'm dead.
Yeah.
Until then, I'll learn every day. I'll improve every day. I'll try, when I make mistakes, which I will, I'll learn from them.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of life. Human beings, we focus too much on what we haven't got. Focus on what you have got.
That's a big one for me, yeah. That's a big one for me. I do focus. I daydream about
what I want. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But focus on what you've got at the moment. You've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
You've got people that love you, people that care about you, people that want you to do well. Even though at the moment you're probably sat there thinking they fucking hate me.
No, they don't hate me. They hate what I've done. Do you know what I mean?
And that's it. They hate what you've done, but they can also love what you're about to do.
I hope so, bro. Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's obviously, I think this is, obviously being here today, and obviously the way I'm feeling about it, it's different. Do you know what I mean? So, like I've done it the last time I started to do it, and I got myself to a point where I thought, all right, I'm okay to put myself in this environment again. And I was for a bit. I was, and then slowly but surely, if you sit in the barbers long enough, you're going to get an haircut, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, so I speak about this a lot when we talk about the disease model of addiction, right?
Yeah.
People say it's not a choice, it just happens to you.
Yeah.
You jump in a swimming pool, you're going to get wet.
There's
no way you're coming out of that swimming pool fucking dry. Yeah. No fucking way.
Unless you're on that therapy on the line.
Yeah, on that line over your tits out.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah.
How long we had, Cal?
Oh, well.
Let's ask you this question then. What does the next 12 months look like for you? If you can envisage you, and it's not a finish line, but if you can envisage what you look like in 12 months' time, how does that feel, and what does it look like?
Happy, mate. I know that's not a feeling. It's an emotion. It's emotion.
It's a fucking brilliant emotion.
It is. That's the best thing ever, isn't it? But do you know what though? Peaceful. I don't want to steal my own peace anymore. Because I always say, don't let anyone steal your peace. If you meet someone who's that like scatty or about and they steal your peace, I don't fuck with them. But then I fuck with myself all day. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just want to be at peace, mindfulness, at peace, and obviously, hopefully, have the people in my life who I want in my life, and that's it, really.
You said there that they'll steal your environment, but yeah, we'll steal our own.
Of course, yeah.
Listen, mate.
Yeah. Boss.
I've appreciated you coming down.
Thank you so much for having me, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back anytime.
That's it, brother.
Yeah. Thank you so much, bro.
Sound, mate.
Thank you, lad.